Hello everyone, I am Hiral Sojitra, your biology teacher. Today we will discuss the solution of a textual exercise of chapter number 1, Nutrition in Plants. Before we start this, let us have one experiment. Have you seen it properly? That is why it is very much essential to wash our hands to get protected against COVID-19. Now we will discuss the exercise solution of chapter number 1. First of all, we will start with the Intext exercise. Now take out page number 15. The first question is complete the equation given below keeping green plants in mind. Now you have to see the photosynthesis part. In that one equation is given. Accordingly you have to fill this equation. So here is the answer, that is carbon dioxide plus water in presence of light and chlorophyll, it gives sugar and oxygen. The second question is name the reaction process shown above. So that above reaction is of what? Yes, it is of photosynthesis. Then the third is name the 4 things necessary for this process. Now which things are necessary for this photosynthesis process? For that, study the above reaction. You will get the answer. It is carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. These answers you have to note it down in textbook only. Now let us see another exercise, that is on page number 19. Now in this exercise you can see the 4 different pictures and 4 options are given. You have to see the picture properly and then you have to choose appropriate option. Pause the video for a while and think about it. You will get the answer. So the answer is first is Cuscuta, second is the Indian pipe, third is pitcher plant and fourth is Lichens. Now this you have to note it down in textbook. Now let us discuss the exercise. In that one, first we will see the objective type questions. These objective type questions you have to do in textbook only. In that, first is fill in the blanks. So let us discuss it. The first is the mode of nutrition in which an organism makes its own food is called, what does it called? Yes, it is autotrophic nutrition. Then second is the green pigment found in leaves is present in structure called. So here 2 options are there, chloroplast and chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll itself is a green pigment, so definitely answer would be chloroplast. Third is water and other nutrients absorbed by the roots are transported from the roots to other parts of the plant through structure called. So here we discussed 2 structures, xylem and phloem. Phloem is transporting food and xylem is transporting water. So what would be the answer? Yes, it is xylem. Now the fourth is the roots of saprophytic plant contain, what does it contain, fungi or bacteria? Yes, it is fungi. That converts dead and decaying matter into nutrients or oxygen. Here oxygen is present in the atmosphere. So definitely it converts into nutrient. So answer is nutrient. Then fifth is the dash association between rhizobium and leguminous plant replenishes the soil with dash. So here parasitic plants itself, it harms this host cell. So answer will be symbiotic. And it replenishes the soil with oxygen or nitrogen. Here oxygen itself emitted by the plant. So the answer is nitrogen. Write it down all the answers properly in the textbook. Now next question is true and false. So let us discuss it. First, all plants are autotrophic in nature. That is false. So what would be the correction? All plants are not autotrophic in nature. So mention not after R. Then second is plants make food in the form of starch as a result of photosynthesis. That is true. Third is the leaf of the pitcher plant is modified into a tubular pitcher to trap insect. That is also true. Then fourth is lichens are a parasitic relationship between a fungus and bacteria. It is false. So what would be the correction? Instead of parasitic, symbiotic will come. So mention symbiotic after writing false. Then fifth is farmers grow leguminous plants alternately with other crops to restore potassium and phosphorus content of the soil. That is also false. So what would be the answer? Instead of potassium and phosphorus, nitrogen will come. So mention nitrogen after writing false. This exercise also you have to write it down in the textbook only. Then C. Choose the correct option, that is MCQs. These also you will write it down in textbook. The first is which of these absorbs light energy? Here 4 options are given. First is chlorophyll, then stomata, guard cells and vein. So which will absorb the light energy? This thing we discussed in conditions required for the photosynthesis. That a green pigment absorbs light energy. So can you recall the name of green pigment? It is chlorophyll. So correct answer is A, chlorophyll. Second is which of these increases the surface area to absorb water and minerals through the roots? For this you have to refer the root system. Here options are given: rootlets, secondary roots, root hair and primary roots. So which is the smallest structure that comes in contact with the soil? Recall that point. So the answer you will get, that is C, root hair. Then third is which of these is the reason for heterotrophic nutrition in certain plant? If plants are autotrophic, then why do they need to go for heterotrophic mode of nutrition? So here 4 options are given. This point we discussed in the beginning of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that for this certain requirement in the form of nutrient, they have to be dependent on other sources. So here the correct option is C, that depend on other organism for certain specific nutrients. Then fourth is which of these plants live in association with other organism in such a way that both gain from each other, means they are in mutual relationship. So here the answer is C, symbiotic plants. Then fifth is which of these does a sundew plant have for trapping and digesting insect? Here again 4 options are given. For that you have to refer this point particularly and you will get the answer, that is A, tentacles and mucilage. Then sixth is which of these is needed for the photosynthesis? Now again conditions for the photosynthesis. Accordingly you have to see the options, that either chlorophyll, sunlight and water or carbon dioxide. So here we know that all these 4 are the required for the photosynthesis process. So the answer is D, all of these. Then seventh is which of these helps leaves to get carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis? Now for this we discussed one point, that opening and closing of stomata, which is present underside the leaves. These are surrounded with the guard cells. So that is the answer C, stomata. Then eighth is which of this tissue helps in conducting prepared food from leaves to roots? Plants have 2 conducting tissues, xylem and phloem. About xylem we discussed in blanks, that it conducts water and minerals. So for the nutrient transportation, phloem is there. So the answer is B, phloem. Then ninth is, which of these plants live off dead and rotting materials? Can you name me that bacteria that we have discussed? Yes, it is Rhizobium, that is found in the root nodules of leguminous plant, and P is one of the leguminous plant. Next question is of very short type answer. These again you have to do in textbook only. The first one is, give two examples for the following. Plants that have autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we do have varieties of plant around us that do autotrophic mode of nutrition. So write down any two. For example, neem tree and tulsi. Second is plants that have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In this one you can write down example from any four types of plant, that is parasitic, symbiotic, insectivorous or saprophytic. So here for example I have written sundew and pitcher plant, but you can write any of the example out of four types. Then third is plants that grow in nitrogen deficient soil. So here the answer will come from the insectivorous plant because they are deficient of nitrogen, that is why they are trapping the insect. So write it down any two example out of four examples, that is again I have written sundew and pitcher plant. Then next is plants that harm their host plant. So here the category comes, that is parasitic part. So here write down any example of parasitic plant. So here cuscuta and mistletoe. Fifth is symbiotic plant. So write down any two examples of leguminous plants. So for example pea and groundnut. Note it down in the textbook with neat and clean handwriting. Now let us discuss short answer type questions. These question answer you have to write down in F&B of biology. First question is, define heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Name the four types of heterotrophic nutrition in plants. For this answer you have to write down first of all the definition of heterotrophic mode of nutrition and only list down the name of the heterotrophic plant. Take out page number 16. In the very first paragraph, 2 lines is of definition of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and then these are the 4 types of heterotrophic plant which are highlighted, you have to write. Second question is, how do parasitic plants benefit from their host plant? In this question you have to write down that how parasitic plants develop their root system to get nutrients from their host plant. Take out page number 16. In that second paragraph is of parasitic plant. Here highlighted portion is there, that is the answer, that how parasitic plants develop special roots which penetrate into the tissues of the host plant and then prepared food is taken up by them. Now third question is, what is the symbiotic association in lichens? For that take out page number 18. In last on that page number you can see the example of symbiotic plant is discussed, that is what our answer. So that this highlighted part you have to write down. Now we will discuss long answer type questions. These also you have to write down in your F&B of biology. The first question is, with the help of a labeled diagram describe the process of photosynthesis in autotrophs. Take out page number 13. You can see here highlighted portion is answer. First of all you have to write how plants are able to prepare food with which kind of requirement. Then you have to write down the equation for the photosynthesis and then you have to define the photosynthesis process. Then second question is, describe how insectivorous plants trap and digest insect for nutrition. Support your answer with example. For this answer you have to take out page number 17. Over there you will find that how insectivorous plants will derive nutrients by trapping insect, and then on page number 18 you will find examples of insectivorous plant. Out of 4 examples, you have to describe any one example in the notebook. Though it is not visible properly here, but you can refer your textbook page number 18 for the same. The third question is, discuss the different ways in which nutrients are replenished into the soil. For this answer, take out page number 19. Here in this answer, you have to discuss about two things. First, that how we are replenishing the nutrients by adding manures and fertilizers, and second way is to use symbiotic association of rhizobium and leguminous plant. Here highlighted portion describes the same that you have to write down in this answer. After long question answer, let's recall and let's observe करके जो दिया है पेज नंबर 22 पे, वो आपको अपने आप से चैप्टर में से देख के करना है एज ए होमवर्क. कर लोगे ना? डेफिनेटली कर लोगे, आप तो बहुत इंटेलिजेंट हो. Now the second question from let's observe on page number 23. The first question is, what mode of nutrition is shown in this picture? Autotrophic or heterotrophic? Now for that, see the diagram. It is of rotten bread, and on rotten bread, what kind of growth you are finding? It is the growth of fungi. And what kind of nutrition fungi is following? It is heterotrophic. So answer is heterotrophic. Then next question is, what is the type of nutrition displayed? Parasitic, saprophytic or symbiotic? Now which kind of nutrition fungi is following? It is saprophytic. So the answer is second, saprophytic mode of nutrition. Now the next question is from let's apply. The question is, Anita put a few drops of iodine on the leaf given alongside, that is after discharged and made colorless. Which part of the leaf will turn the iodine bluish black and why? For that you have to refer the activities which we have already discussed. First option is the entire leaf, the part of the leaf that is green and the part of the leaf that is white. For the answer, you have to see this diagram properly. Here the green part contains chlorophyll and white part doesn't contain chlorophyll, and photosynthesis is possible if chlorophyll is there, and if photosynthesis will be done, then and then only starch formation is there. So which part will be bluish black? The part which contains starch. So definitely the answer is green. Next question is from let's analyze and evaluate from the page number 23. The first question is, analyze how bean plants help the soil. Now as bean plants are leguminous plant, it will add up nitrogen content into the soil, and that's why it is helpful. Second question is, evaluate and justify whether it is a good idea to grow bean plants along with wheat plants or not. So definitely yes, because as bean plant is adding up nitrogen into the soil, it increases the fertility, while wheat plants require nitrogen content more for their growth, so it will be very helpful for them. Here on page number 23, the exercises from let's apply, let's analyze and evaluate we have discussed, but no need to write down anywhere. With this, we have discussed each and every question answer properly. If you have still any query, then you can contact me. I am ready to help you. So, my dear students, keep learning and stay safe. Thank you.